Well, hello everyone. Delighted to have you all here with us. Welcome to the Elyria Hackathon here this fine October afternoon and evening, depending upon where you are. My name's James Kingston. I'm currently calling you from the United Kingdom, as you can probably tell by my accent. It does tend to be a bit of a giveaway. I'm very pleased to be the disembodied British voice welcoming you all in. I represent DataSwift, which has been one of the three partner organizations that's been bringing you here today. We are incredibly excited to be working with the City of Elyria, particularly under the leadership of Mayor Frank Whitfield, to help the city and Mayor Whitfield realize the vision of bringing digital innovation and change and digital transformation to the City of Elyria and the people it faces. The problems that people of the city face. At DataSwift, we are a tech infrastructure company committed to promoting the use of personal data as a tool of public good, helping people transform their lives through controlling their own information on the internet. We're committed to an internet that really, helps individuals and helps the world become a better place. And we think there's a great deal of hope in that. It's been a huge pleasure working with the mayor, and we've got an incredible weekend lined up for you all. Very much looking forward to seeing all the ideas that everyone will put together over the course of 48 hours of activity, and see what interesting innovations you have coming up. We also have a great lineup of speakers. Yes, a whole program of really exciting stuff to be looking forward to. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Mayor Whitfield himself in to come and say a few words and to really kick off the proceedings that we have tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, James. And it's great hearing your accent, even if it's from across the sea. It's great hearing you. And I'm just excited to be able to speak with you all today. Again, as was mentioned, I'm Mayor Frank Whitfield of the City of Elyria. I want to welcome you to our first ever City of Elyria Hackathon presented by Windstream. This virtual conference is an opportunity for Elyria residents to work with people all around the world to solve some of Elyria's most pressing challenges. I'm excited to be partnering with my alma mater, Case Western Reserve University, on this exciting initiative, as well as a special thank you to our partners at DataSwift for being our virtual host of this hackathon. I also want to give a special thank you to the team and staff here at the City of Elyria. In order to pull this event off, we've gotten support from so many different departments. So many hands have helped make this happen. I just want to give the staff and all the departments here at the City of Elyria a special thank you. So I'm asking you all to put your imagination caps on and enter into this creative and innovative space. Be inspired by the guest speakers we have over the weekend and join a community of individuals who are working on solutions to our problems. So today's kickoff to our hackathon is only able to happen because of our financial sponsors of Kinetic by Windstream and the Community Foundation of Lorain County. You will hear from Vinson III, the Provost and Executive Vice President at Case Western Reserve University, and he will be followed by remarks from Susan Schraibman on behalf of our presenting sponsor, Kinetic by Windstream. So VP, I'll pass it to you.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that incredible introduction. It is a delight and a pleasure to be here and to really speak with all here in the City of Elyria, and to also thank you, Mayor Whitfield, for leading this transformative effort. For those of you who probably didn't know this, he did give it away. He is a graduate of Case Western Reserve University's Weatherhead School of Management, and we are absolutely proud to call you an alum of our institution. Now, I'm excited to be here tonight because we have a truly wonderful partnership growing with Mayor Whitfield and the City of Elyria. I'm looking forward to the great things that we can begin to do together, a really strong alliance here in Ohio. But you should know that at Case Western Reserve, we have made it an absolute priority for our university to begin to achieve more social impact. And that's both on our campus and beyond our campus. To do this, we know that we must distribute our research and our teaching more widely. And we must create more meaningful partnerships with communities that have not always had access to our education in the past. Now, at the same time, we are also doing something with our technological aspect of things. We are elevating the role of technology and humanity combined in everything that we do. We know that technology is defining the next level of understanding and knowledge in the modern age. And we know that it's the human element that we must always keep at the center of all of our increasingly technologically driven decisions. Now, this event is precisely the type of community engagement that we want to see more of at Case Western Reserve University. This event is empowering residents, business owners, community leaders to design a more vibrant community. And it puts the power in the hands of the people. It uses technology to solve problems for the greater good. The community issues that have been percolating here and in Elyria, things like violence intervention, access to mental health services, access to childcare, job training assistance. All of these are issues which communities across the region, across the nation are facing. And I'm hopeful that we can replicate the successes of this event in other communities across Northeast Ohio and beyond. Elyria is a shining example of what's possible elsewhere. Now, I'm also sure that my esteemed colleague, Professor Young-Jin Yu, who has helped spearhead this event, would agree with me. In fact, you should know he is one of the top professors that we have at this Weatherhead School, and he is an incredible mind in this hackathon process. Now, I look forward to hearing the outcomes of your work. I look forward to continuing to build on our partnership with the City of Elyria and all of the partners who have organized this fantastic event. Mayor Whitfield, I'm going to hand it right back to you.
Thank you so much, VP. And we appreciate the partnership with Case, and definitely want to give a shout out to my professor, Young-Jin Yu, who definitely was a huge inspiration for this, and appreciate the partnership that we've had. And as you mentioned, I'm looking forward to continuing to work together and engage our Case students into, the service learning opportunities that are here. The next individual we want to introduce is our Kinetic by Windstream team, and Susan Schraibman, who's on the line. Susan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. It is a great opportunity to kick off the 2021 hackathon. And I'm sure everyone is just as excited as I am to be part of this innovative event and really what it means to the city. Kinetic by Windstream is a proud partner with the City of Elyria, and not only for this hackathon, but what we've been able to do together, expanding the city's digital learning literacy program. Our sponsorship funded computer classes for approximately 500 Elyria residents. And we know that those classes provided essential skills to empower residents to use their computers and technology in their everyday lives. It's been really amazing to see that impact of that partnership. And I saw firsthand at that last graduation ceremony, the enthusiasm from those that participated. And it's those skills that changed the lives about bringing the use of a computer, allowing people to video chat with friends and family, and even in many cases, be able to use those skills to apply for jobs online. And I think about the success of those classes are going to continue now through this weekend for those residents that are going to participate in this hackathon, and they can be able to showcase those digital skills that they learned. Understanding the hackathon, each of these participants teaming up and working together, developing solutions focused on one of the challenges that you've defined as the project's manifesto. And I can't wait to see how these teams collaborate virtually on those complex issues. As mentioned, looking at the community violence intervention and finding ways to access social and emotional mental health services, making improvements and expansions on using the local parks and recreation areas, and the important finding access for out of childcare out of school childcare or finding assistance for, small businesses that are trying to thrive and revitalizing some of those businesses that have been so impacted by COVID, like the local travel and tourism. Developing any viable solution of any of these areas is going to have such a positive impact on the community. Mayor, I really congratulate you for coming up with this innovative and collaborative way to tackle these topics. You've made digital literacy a priority and developed a unique way to bring people together to work virtually. And I really believe that this is going to be a model for other communities to implement and ultimately become much larger than just the city of Elyria. Being a partner is really a natural fit for Kinetic with the city of Elyria and through this hackathon. Our company's mission is to connect people and empower businesses in a world of infinite possibilities. So it's a perfect alignment for this weekend's event. And our company believes in investing in our local communities in which we serve, and we're committed to keeping those communities we serve connected to what's important. I really look forward to seeing what new ideas and solutions come out of this event. And I really wish good luck to all of those teams that are participating. And again, Mayor, thank you for your partnership, and you can count on Kinetic. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And again, we're so grateful to Windstream for the partnership and for the opportunity to really dive into some of these solutions. One piece I think that I wanted to make sure I stood out that, Windstream jumped on board with this very early on and said, hey, we want to be a partner in this, not only in just in this hackathon, but as Susan mentioned, they've invested in computer training for Elyria residents that we've been doing in partnership with Goodwill of Lorain County. So right now, there's still classes going on. So we want to encourage our residents to sign up for those classes. We'll make sure to put some information on those classes in the chat, or you can go to the cityofelyria.org website. And then we'll put the phone number you can call as well to make sure you share that with individuals so that they can participate and get some digital training. So I'm going to pull up a presentation, and we're going to talk about what Susan just was referring to in terms of these ideas that we want to start to talk about. So there was several domains that were mentioned that Susan shared. So we broke things out into community violence and crime prevention. So let me take a step back. A part of these identified domains, we tried to look at what areas aligned with the resources from the American Rescue Plan. So the American Rescue Plan that was passed earlier this year put an unprecedented amount of resources into the hands of cities, and really a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reimagine cities across the country. And so we want to make sure residents are involved in that decision-making process and really open up the innovation for ideas on how to utilize these resources. Well, in that act, they were very clear about the categories that the resources could be used for. So we aligned these categories to also solicit your ideas. And those categories that we identified that were priorities for Elyria that also aligned with the American Rescue Plan were community violence and crime prevention, social and emotional and mental health services, parks and green space development, entrepreneurship and small business assistance, job training, tourism, travel and hospitality redevelopment, and childcare, after-school programming, and early learning. So all of those categories, we asked folks to submit ideas, and we're going to talk through some of those top ideas that have come out of that engagement. So I'm going to share the screen now. And a quick run of show today. So once we get through these initial remarks and I go through this overview, the folks who are on the call are going to have a chance to join a team that's working on one of these ideas. So we'll have some Zoom rooms set up where you'll go into those Zoom rooms. You can turn on your microphone, turn on your cameras, and you'll be working with your teams on these ideas. So one of the things we got in this solicitation of ideas, we got a lot of ideas that weren't necessarily ready to hack, We also got some commentary, which was interesting and good commentary. And we also got some like operation recommendations. So for instance, Midway Mall relaunch was one of the ideas. We know as a city that is a huge priority for us, but we didn't feel like we had enough time in this weekend to solve the issue with Midway Mall. However, there is traction and things going on, and I'll make sure to keep you all updated as that progresses. We also heard feedback around we need increases in communication so people know what's going on here. Where I'm excited, we have a new public information officer, Dana, who's here, who's helped put this together, who's going to really be helping to push the communications out. Then there was 3 ideas that actually are going to be discussed at an upcoming meeting: the aquatic center for the city, to expand our South T-ball and our fields at South, as well as a senior center. And all 3 of these items are actually going to be discussed at an upcoming City Council Community Development Committee meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. at City Hall. So you can tune in on YouTube, or you can show up here to City Hall for those local opportunities that we'll be exploring. We also saw an idea for county-run internet. Again, we didn't think we could hack that in the weekend. And then extending the 311 system, which again is something that's great feedback, which is something internally that we can actually act on. But the ideas that you all had, here were some of the ones that really stood out to us that we wanted to, that there was already momentum around that we want folks to consider joining a team today on. The first idea was around, it was focused on out-of-school time for youth as well as violence prevention. And this idea was motivated by a young man, I believe his name is Mr. Sullivan. And his thought was one way to get youth, dogs and animals are such good emotional supports for young people. And not only that, the dog training business is a great way to provide job training opportunities for young people. So that idea is going to be hacked, and there's going to be a team that you can join to work on that idea. The next idea is from the Neighborhood Alliance. And the Neighborhood Alliance is building a new kitchen to be able to service people who are food insecure throughout our community, including seniors, including the homeless. But they also want to open up their kitchen during those off hours to be open for small businesses to be able to start up their business and use their kitchen to do so. So there'll be a hack team that's working on that. There was 2 ideas that we clustered together. There was 2 ideas that came together around the green space development and utilizing it to create a more adventurous bike path, something that either is a ramps or something that is for mountain biking, but something that was a lot more adventurous. So there'll be a team that's working on hacking that idea. There was also an idea that came from Terry, who he'll be on a team and leading a team around creating this pop-up event kit, which is in essence around how do we create community? How do we activate our green spaces throughout our city? And these pop-up kits, you'd be able to, they'll get into the idea. I don't want to spoil, but the purpose of this is to really activate spaces where people could get a kit that they could take into a community and activate spaces. Another idea that was submitted by Mary was really focused on small business assistance. And this is the same group that manages the farmers market on the weekends. And they talked about how could we do a winter market for small businesses? So we'll be activating or hacking that idea and hopefully activating this idea as well. Another idea was around transportation for young people. One of the pieces of feedback we heard from some of our roundtables around violence prevention was that young people lack the transportation to be able to access programs. And so a part of the hacking is trying to figure out how can we come up with a viable transportation plan for young people to access programs. So there'll be a team hacking that idea. And our last idea that we clustered was there was a number of folks who had ideas around life skills for middle and high school students. So there was a group that was called Clay. There was a group that wanted to do lock-ins, but they all had this kind of central theme of providing life skills and training for middle and high school students. So there'll be a group that's going to be formed around that idea. And then lastly, there's been some new ideas that have been submitted over the past couple of days, and those all are being activated and organized through Slack. So once you go on hackfromhome.com/Elyria, you'll register, then you'll be invited to the Slack channel, and then you'll be able to join and see other ideas that we're working on as well. One thing I'd like to note before we go into the team selection is that this weekend isn't the beginning and end. This is just the beginning. We hope that this is the beginning of a new way of engaging with our residents, a new way of utilizing technology, and a new way of mobilizing and building community to get things done. So I don't want you to feel like, hey, if my idea doesn't get through this weekend, or it doesn't, I don't win the prize, which I'll talk about in a second. I don't want you to feel discouraged, because we're going to keep doing this. We see this happening again next spring, and to continue to do these sort of gatherings where we're working on solutions together. If we were in a non-virtual environment, we would be at a convention center, at the Lorain County Community College Conference Center, sitting at tables and breaking out in the rooms, working on these ideas. But this digital atmosphere gives us the opportunity for you to be eating your pizza at home and participating, or you know, in between watching Shark Tank. I'll be watching Shark Tank tonight in between hacking ideas. So this allows you to kind of the liberty to be able to still live your life and take care of what you have to, but still be able to engage, because we know how difficult it is to engage civically when you're living a busy life. So with that being said, the teams will go through a process this week. Each team will be responsible for answering a set of questions that identify the problem, that identify a solution clearly, that are able to show how feasible and viable the idea is. They have to present that idea and also show what type of impact it's going to have. And then a set of judges will be judging that. And then the top 3 teams with the best compelling, most feasible and impactful presentation, each team will win $1,000 courtesy of Windstream. And so a part of this, the breakout into the teams, we want you to have confidence in your idea, work on a team, and help those teams come up with a great presentation so that you can be a part of the winning team. So we all win when the solutions work. So keep that in mind as well. So that being said, we're going to create these Zoom rooms, and then you'll be able to self-select into those Zoom rooms, and then you'll start working with your teams on the idea. Oh, but before I do that, I want to pass it to Teresa to give a little bit about how chaotic this part of the hackathon becomes, because this is where it gets a little interesting. So I'll pass it to you, Teresa.
Hello, thank you. Yes, everyone. Actually, it will be Ewan who will be talking, who you'll see a bit more this weekend as well. Let me just add him to be able to talk. Yeah, there we go. So let me pass it to Ewan McCall. Another very nice accent that you'll hear now. Not a British one, Scottish one.
Hello there, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Whitfield, for a very, very interesting introduction. It sounds as if there's some brilliant stuff going on in Elyria. I'm very jealous of being stuck this side of the Atlantic. Yeah, well, my name's Ewan. I'm an author, a data analyst, and a director of New Lanark, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Scotland. And this weekend, I'll be chatting with some great guest speakers that we have lined up for everyone to listen into, you know, whilst they're working within their teams, and also helping build the teams themselves. So basically tonight, yeah, this is going to be an organic and messy process, and that's exactly what we want it to be, because that means for the rest of the weekend, we can just get on with the rest of the job. So more or less, this is how it's going to go. So everyone who'll all be now on Slack, you'll go through to the Find a Project channel, and don't be embarrassed because everyone's in the same boat. Please just put in what you voted for, what you're interested in, and the team leads for the different projects will also be posting. Chat with people. If you're undecided, maybe ask them questions. And once you've decided, pop back into this Zoom room, and you'll find the relevant breakout rooms for the different projects. Once you get there, just chat with everyone else. Afterwards, we'll also be adding everyone into a private Slack channel of your project where you can share documents, message each other, and get the job done. So yeah, this should be very exciting, and don't be worried if you don't know what to do. Just message one of the organizers and we'll make sure that everyone gets into a team of between 4 to 8 people.
Thank you for that. And again, we're excited for folks to select their teams. I'm going to open up the security pieces so that you all can be able to chat here. So give me just a second. I'll stop the recording.